So I think the issue is something's not timed right. I don't know how, but the peg on the way this works is this point here has a hook on it that latches into a gear with a groove, behind the, well, it's really a gear, it's kind of a gear with one tooth, and behind that tooth there's a groove, and so as this moves back and forth, it slides that gear along the shaft here, but the tooth is somehow misaligned with the gears that it's supposed to slide through, so it's hitting against the gears instead of sliding through them. So it's an interesting issue. Not quite sure how that's possible. But anyway, by lifting up the detent and moving this wheel a little bit, I was able to get it to line up and slide one more position. So now this bracket is off of this bump, so hopefully this will come off now. Maybe not. Okay, I guess not. So maybe what I'll do is I will drive the pin out of this side and then take the two screws out and then just take this whole side off. And that should allow all this mechanism to basically fall apart, and then maybe we can finally slide the carriage off. I'm really curious how that was even possible. I didn't think you could time it like that. Interesting, we'll have to get into that. Alright, so I removed the pin, the two screws from the carriage bed plate. I removed one screw from this assembly. That should be all that holds that side on. So theoretically, I should be able to pull this side off. Ta-da! Okay, so that's out of the way. This is that, upside down. This is that shaft I was talking about. So you can see here's the gear with that one tooth peg, and then there's the slot that finger slides into, and then slides this back and forth. But this was at a time, so this tooth was hitting on the gears on the bottom of this register here. There's the drive gear. That looks all okay. Any issues with that? Slip that off to the side. So now, theoretically, this is going to be difficult now. There it goes. Should slide theoretically right off. There we go. That collapse was just all the stacks of keyboard assemblies collapsing. Finally, this is off. That's the hardest time I ever had removing a register from a Marchant machine. Now, what can happen is there's a screw in the end of this shaft which holds the slider in place, so that can come out. And with this off, this should slide out. There we go. And we should be able to remove this. So this is just going to collapse now. This is the part in question. I do see some rubbing here where they might have swelled. But other than that, this really doesn't look that bad. Usually when you get these, they're all, and there's some rubbing there too. So yeah, definitely probably needs some filing back into shape, but overall it's not terrible. I mean, if you compare this to the one from the Marchant XL that I did last time, this is pretty decent. That one had cracks and swelling all over the place. That was really bad. But that one's not too bad, so we need to clean that up. This gear here is the reversing gear, so this will slide back and forth based on this shift fork here to determine the counter direction. So get that cleaned up. Theoretically now, I should be able to remove the one screw here. I need to put the screwdriver. There's one screw right here. this particular screw removed. Oh, by the way, now this is free, this can come off. There's just a dowel pin in the bottom. We couldn't get enough clearance between that piece and the carriage to make it lift it high enough for the dowel pin to clear. Now this can come off. You can see on the bottom there is the shift mechanism. So based on the rocker on the front, that'll shift the carriage either direction. Or right here, there's a release. And that's what this button that sticks out the side pushes that release to let you slide the carriage without ratcheting it. So, I think that's probably as far apart as we need to take this. I might slide, we've already slid one off here. I might slide the rest of these off this shaft just to clean up the shaft. These don't move that much, these are just the rockers. So actually, how this works is, I thought these were attached to the slide wheels, but actually they're not. It's either these gears? No, see there's gears up inside there. So when you push a key on the keyboard, it rocks this back, and that gear drives this piece either direction. I haven't decided if I want to take this apart. Hopefully I can clean up that little bit of corrosion without taking it all apart, but if we have to take it apart, we'll do that. First thing I want to do is get this part of the, see, and this is pretty sticky. I'm going to get this part of the machine cleaned up and check out that drum and get that drum profile first. But as you can see, we have quite a mess here now. So we'll start with this side, and I think that's going to be the next video. So hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.